Hey, beautiful souls, are you a student on the cusp of your counseling journey? Or maybe even a seasoned professional working for somebody else but dreaming of launching your very own private practice? If so, I would love for you to join my incredible coaching membership today. It's tailor made for therapists just like you, offering step by step support 24/7 because you know what? We're in this together. Plus, I've even got courses and CPD trainings included to help fuel your growth. I know, I love it so much, and I hope you do too. Discover the path to your dream private practice your way. Dive into the supportive community and get some quick guidance, accountability, and real connections. It's your business, and I've got your back. So join me now and make your dreams a reality. Head over to my website today. The link is in the show notes, and the membership is called Private Practice 101. I'll see you there. Bye. Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Private Practice with Soul podcast. This is the first podcast for counselors that just don't align with the traditional approaches to business and that want to use their spiritual gifts, talents, and interests to create, you guessed it, a private practice with soul. So, look, leave it to me to provide you with everything you need, including strategies that you can use to increase your income, reduce your workload, and of course, increase inquiries and referrals to your beautiful soul-led private practice. I love it so much. If you haven't done it already, grab your journal, grab your pen, and let's begin. Welcome to another episode of the Private Practice with Soul podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Brooklyn Storm, and guess what? This is about the fifth time, no joke, that I've tried to record this podcast today. Two reasons why. Number one, Buddy, of course. And the other one was I thought, oh yeah, I'll go live on YouTube. But I didn't like how I was looking on there today. So I stopped the live stream and here we are. So I must remember to go and delete that. So, and also, yeah, just quickly, isn't it nice to have the music back? I think since mid-December, all the podcasts have been me doing them on the fly because I've been running around to appointments and things for people, and so, but not wanting to not record a podcast. So I've been doing them in the car. So yeah, when you do it on the app, you don't have access to the music. So anyway, we're back with music. And that's awesome. So, this is a really, really, really important and highly vulnerable episode that I'm going to be recording for you today. And the reason why I am going to share with you things that have been happening behind the scenes is for the very simple fact that nobody shared it with me. And as you will hear, it had unwanted consequences. So I do not want that for you. I want you to listen to what I'm going to share with you today. It may make sense to you today, or it may not. You may have a very strong reaction to what I'm going to talk to you about today, or you may not. But either way, I think what will happen is you will remember this conversation that we're about to have, you and I, and at some point in the future, you will come back to it. So I would definitely hit pause and go and save it somewhere because I don't want you to feel like I have been feeling. I want you to know that somebody went through it too, that they're further along on the journey, and that, you know, I'm out the other side and I can help you. So when it comes time for it to be your journey, you know where to go so that you can get some support. Now that all sounds very, very cryptic, I know. So look, let me just stop talking and get on with it. As you know, a few years ago, everything kind of changed in my world. Lots more responsibilities in terms of looking after family members, right? Now, this is really unusual for me, as you know, I choose to stay in, well, not the privacy of my own company, but I love just having my own company, okay? But things changed, that's fine. Dealing with that, looking after people, making sure everybody's got what they need, all those kinds of things. It was a lot of layers of responsibility, but it also, you know, deepened relationships with family members and stuff like that. So I'm thankful for it, but it impacted the business. How? Well, there were more financial responsibilities. So, I'm looking after some people financially now that I wasn't looking after before. It was only ever me looking after myself and, my dog, which was Gabe, and now it's Buddy. So, yeah, big shifts. What ended up happening as a consequence of these changes was I started to realize that I needed to manage my money and manage my money mindset a little bit differently. That's why, as you know, I've got a money coach at the moment who's helping me with all of this. I should have hired her 4 years ago, 3 or 4 years ago, but it never occurred to me. Anyway, what was I going to say? I just forgot what I was going to say. Oh, right. Yep. So I guess I thought, like, my knee-jerk reaction was, okay, I've got more financial responsibility now, but it's still just me kind of, generating income. So I need to increase my income to cover all these extra expenses. What am I going to do? And my first way of approaching it was to think, well, I need to see more clients. And so I started booking more clients, and it felt good in the moment when people were booking, and I was so thankful and I was so grateful, and I loved working with them. But I had to keep seeing more and more and more. I also had to do other things like, I felt like there was a lot of pressure on me to be creating more things so that I had more things that were available all at different price points so that people could get them, and that this would help me in my business to be able to project the flow of money and all those kinds of things. So all that was happening. And then it kind of got to the point where and I did take this to supervision. It just because I know somebody will say, did you take it to supervision, Brooklyn? I did. But one of the things that I noticed was I think perhaps we did like some assessment scales and everything. They said that I wasn't burning out, but I feel like perhaps I was heading in that direction. I've not had burnout before, but I think maybe I was heading in that direction. Here's why I thought that. What started to happen was people would, contact me on Messenger or something and then say, oh, I need to cancel my session or I need to reschedule my session. And I was doing cartwheels, like in my head, I was doing cartwheels. I was happy about it. This is really hard for me to admit, by the way. So please don't judge. I'm just telling you exactly what I went through, because if you go through it too, I want you to understand it can be part of the process for some of us. I felt happy when people were cancelling. I felt excited that I had that hour back, because in my mind it meant I could use that time for something else, like working on the business, right? Or I could use that time to nick up the shops and get some medicine for someone, or I could, nick down the road and go and get the bread and milk that day, or something. Do you know what I mean? So I used to get really happy and I used to get really excited, and I was like relieved, just and energetically, like it was just like, I would just exhale and my shoulders would drop and they'd just roll back, and I would just feel loose and floppy again, and it was great. And sometimes I would even put on music and I would move my body, I would just move my body, just dancing, and I feel so free that this person had rescheduled and that hour now was free. I just felt free. The opposite was also happening when it would be like the night before, so say it's a Monday night, I would check my diary, see what the bookings were for the next day, and I'd see that there were bookings and my heart would sink. I would just feel like, oh no, I can't, I don't want to. Oh no, maybe overnight somebody will cancel or reschedule, maybe I'll wake up in the morning and people will cancel or reschedule. And it was just this heaviness, this weight that I felt of like feeling trapped, I guess. Like there were all these other things I need to do for my family, but now I can't because I'm locked in. I'm I'm stuck, I'm trapped. This was how I was feeling, and this was my mindset. And anyway, I would struggle to sleep at night because I'd be just dreading the next day. And I would toss and I would turn, literally tossing and turning, not have a fantastic sleep, and then I'd be procrastinating in the morning, and then I'd see my client and everything would change. I'd be in the session with my client and I was just loving it. At no point was this ever about the people that I was working with. I was so thankful and so grateful and feeling blessed that they, chose me to work with, whether it was supervision or coaching or mentoring or the business stuff, whatever it was. It was never about my clients, right? Never. But what it was about was this sense of being locked in, trapped, stuck, having my day, leading me rather than me being able to lead my day. That was what I was resenting. And I really, 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 really struggled with it. And then it kind of got to the point where I thought to myself, hey, it's probably not a good thing that I'm celebrating cancellations here or reschedules or no shows. And it's probably not a good thing that I'm dreading, my diary the day before. Maybe something's not right and maybe I need to go and see someone. So I spoke with my supervisor about how I was feeling and things like that. As I said, did burnout assessments. It wasn't burnout. So I don't know what it was. I think I was just feeling like I've got other stuff to worry about right now. And it's not having a fully booked diary. Like I've got a parent to worry about now. I've got a sister to worry about now. I've got nieces and nephews to worry about now. I've got all this other stuff was suddenly taking more of a front seat. So what I became aware of was I no longer wanted to see so many people a day or even a week. And so what I did was I don't know, it was like sometimes when I realize things, when the penny drops, I just take immediate action. And I thought, yeah, I'm just going to take action on this. And so I dropped my bookings and I just said, right, I'm happy to see clients, on this day and this day. So I think even now, I only see maybe 3 one-to-one clients a week. And there are some weeks I see none. And it is so, 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 so good. But I do other things, and I'll tell you about that in a minute. So the first thing that I knew I needed to do was reduce the hours, because I knew if I reduced my availability, that would help me with my energy. It would help me with my mood. It would help me with my vibe. I would, everything would change. But I knew too that I work really well under pressure, and that if I made that change, then I was kind of forcing myself to come up with ways to replace the income from those lost one-to-one bookings, if that makes sense. So I had to start quick, smart, thinking, okay, what am I going to do here? And that is when, and it was probably, I don't know how long ago now. I want to say maybe 2 years ago, but it could be a little bit more. That was when I came upon the idea of like the memberships. And so I learned how to create memberships. I started PP 101. Loved it. It just really took off. I was so thankful that it did, and it continues to thrive today. So thankful for that. So I created PP 101 as a way of helping lots of people, but only online through a little Facebook community and a course that I put together. And I, back then, was doing one group call for them, like a group coaching call a month. That was how it started out. And it was really, really wonderful. And it was very freeing. It meant I still got to help people. They still got to get results. I still got to see them get results. But I still got to call in money by only working 1 hour a month instead of all those one-to-one sessions. So because I was encouraged by the success of PP101, I then thought, well, I want to make some more memberships. So I started to tune in to what people were wanting and what we were talking about and stuff like that. And I don't remember the order of this, but now, like as of today, 15th of February 2024, I've got a bunch of them. There's now like PP101, like the full comprehensive version for people who want all the implementation help and they want the support and the coaching calls and all that. And then there's a light version for people who don't want any help. They just want to know the steps and that they can do it themselves. So there's those two. And then there's Marketing with Soul. There's a full program with that. It's a self-study course, not a membership or a subscription. It's a course that they buy. So there's a full version of that where they get to come through live classes with me and get coaching every month and stuff like that. But then there's also a light version where they don't get any coaching, but they can have access to, like no frills version of resources, and they can just kind of do things on their own. So there's that. Then there's also the Makers, which is for selling digital products. And then there's also Diploma Counsellor Society, which came about because, running online communities, I was seeing a lot of people who had other qualifications not be very nice to people who had diplomas. And so it became very apparent very quickly that they needed their own space. So I made a space just for people who've got diplomas. So anyway, like I've got all these sort of memberships going and I really, 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 really love them. Like I do have to create content every month and that does take a few hours for each membership. But I have to tell you that I really enjoy Canva. So it works out really well. It's kind of like I'm getting paid to create the content. It's amazing. And the members are all amazing and I just really enjoy it. So I started with the memberships. But then what I realized was, I didn't have them all at once. As they've sort of been, I've been introducing new memberships every few months, whatever. But in the beginning, they weren't making enough money for me to replace all of the clients that I wanted to, not all of the clients, all of the appointment bookings that I wanted to replace, right? I wanted to cut back all the availability, but replace that income. I didn't want to lose the income. And the memberships wasn't doing that at that point. So I knew I needed to do something else. And from there, I went into creating and selling online things, right? We call them digital products, but you could call them online things. You could call them downloadables. You could call them printables. So I started to make things for my private practice, like therapy journals. I know a whole bunch of you have downloaded my supervision journal, stuff like that. So I was making all of those affirmation cards. I was making wall art for therapy rooms, all this kind of stuff. It was really, really fun. And I put it all on Etsy, right? So I've got this Etsy store, which I love, love, love. The Etsy store is great. It brings in hundreds of dollars every week. But again, on its own, not enough to replace the income from all the bookings that I was closing off in my diary. The thing about Etsy, as you know, is you've got to have about 1,000 products on there in a very specific niche in order to be making your money. The reason why lots of people have an Etsy store and it's not successful is they've got low volume or it's not yet niched specifically enough, it's not yet niched down enough, and so they struggle, or they've got bad mock-ups, or they've got no keywords, or they've got the pricing point is a little bit off. So there's lots of reasons, but Etsy's a whole other thing in itself. But anyway, so I'd had these, periods where I've been trying new things and getting some success and then falling back because, it's not what I thought it was going to be. And then try something else and have a bit of success and then falling back because it's like, this is great. And I am making passive income and it is helping. It just wasn't at the level I wanted or needed it to be at. So it's back to the drawing board because I need something else. And so, I was following, no, that's not true. The order is different. What I started to do was go on Instagram because you know me, I'm like a water baby. I'm always either in the bath or the spa now. I'm always there. So I was on my phone in the bath and I was just scrolling through Instagram, looking at ways that I could make money to replace these bookings. And that's when I came across, there were two influencers that I really liked, and I started following them. And it was interesting because I went on their pages and, it's clicking on all their posts and all their reels and stuff like that. And I started to see they were making all this money and they were younger than me. And I was thinking, I wonder if this is a scam. Like, how does this work? I wonder if this is possible for me too. And anyway, it was months. Look, I'm going to say it was about 6 months. I kept following them because I was just so curious, but I wasn't at the point where I wanted to pull the trigger on anything. So I just kept following, and then, they would have a call to action, which was usually, get my free guide or something like this. And so one day I did get the free guide and I never opened it. But what ended up happening was I was able to ask questions of both of these women. And so I was asking them, like, how long did it take you to get started? And, what do you recommend? And any tips for a newbie and all this. And you know what? They were lovely, but they weren't really that helpful. They were just kind of like, oh, everything's in my free guide. So anyway, one of the ladies, she said, here's a link to the course that I did. So I said, okay, thanks for that. So I went and did, so she was helpful in that moment, but prior it had been very, just generic stuff that she was telling me. Anyway, so one day she says, yeah, look, here's the link to the course. Oh, also, she probably didn't give me the information I wanted because I didn't ask her the right questions. But then the time came and I was just like, where did you learn this? Like, is there somewhere I can go to learn it? And that's when she said, here's the link to the course that I did. So I did this course. Oh, no, I didn't, because I had to click a link and then it brought up a video of some guy talking and it was all very rah rah, and I just thought, oh, I can't. And I must have clicked on that link that she sent me, I don't know, maybe 5 times, and I just could not sit through this video. And the way her page was set up was I couldn't proceed unless I'd watched the whole video. And then one day I was sitting there in the bath and I just thought, fine, then I'm going to watch the video. So I sat there and I watched the rah-rah and everything. I thought the video was only going to go for like a minute or two, but it went for, I think, 45 minutes. So I watched it. I really did. I watched it because I wanted to get to the end. When I got to the end, a little sales page button type thing popped up that said I could do this course for $7. And I thought, oh, okay, well, I don't have anything to lose. It's only $7. So I did the course and loved it. I really did love it. I purchased the course one day, and you know what I'm like I want to go through things really, really quickly, but the way that the course was set up, you couldn't. You had to have meetings with their coaches and all this, and I didn't like that, but it meant that I was kind of blocked. Like I could do one module, but then they wouldn't unlock the next one until I touched base with someone, and then this was how it went for all the modules, or most of the modules. Anyway, so I did that course and I learned a lot. And then I was really excited, and I thought, wow, I've just developed all these new skills. This is really exciting, because doesn't it feel good when you learn stuff? I'm going to be a lifelong student. I just know it. It's like the dopamine hit of, doing something new and mastering it. And I was like, this feels so good. Yeah. And then I was so disappointed that the course finished. And then the course was yeah, if you want to continue, you should definitely get our blueprints. And the blueprints are whatever, $1,000. And I was like, I don't want to go from $7 to suddenly spending thousands of dollars on blueprints that I probably won't use. So at that point, I was fired up because I started to see and realize that, hey, I already know some of this stuff. And it's possible and it's doable, and I get it now. I think the veil had been lifted, it was all demystified for me, and I saw, oh, it's just learning and it's just a skill and you can learn it and anyone can learn it, and I'm an anyone, so I've just learned it. So then I went back to the lady that I got the $7 course from. I was like, I don't want to do this, thousands of dollar thing. Do you have any other suggestions? And she was kind of pointing me in the direction of affiliate marketing and stuff like that. And yeah, it was interesting, but I was already in the mood to do what I'd just been learning, which was selling digital products. I really wanted to sell more digital products. And so then I just kept looking on. So now I'm like a dog with a bone, and like I'm obsessed because I see it's possible. I see, okay, I can do it. If these other women are on my feed and they're doing it, that's a sign that it's possible for me too. This is okay. I'm going to be able to do this. So I started researching even more, and I was using Instagram for all my research to find out what other people were doing and how they were doing it. And then I ended up reaching out because there were two women that I was following. So the first one turned out to have this $7 thing that she was promoting. The other one had something else, which was an online marketing course. So I contacted her, and she was like, yeah, I've got this online marketing course. But I didn't end up buying it from her because what happened? I don't remember what happened, but I didn't end up buying it from her. And then I ended up getting the same course from someone else. I can't even remember who I bought the course of. Maybe it was her. I don't know. It doesn't really matter, does it? But anyway, so I bought, no, I've left out something. So I was thinking about it still, right? She gave me this information on this digital marketing course, and I was like, I don't know. It's $497 US, which was going to be about $700 for me at the time. And I thought, it's such a lot of money, and do I have it, or do I not have it, and do I want to spend it, and am I going to get my investment back, and what if it's a scam, and what if I get ripped off? And I was going through all that, right? And then my sister was on maternity leave, and we had been spending loads of time together, right? Because this is the thing I'm all about. I'm needing the time with my family at the moment. She had limited time. She was on maternity leave. We're at the tail end of her maternity leave. And she said to me, I really want to do some activities and make the most, like a last hurrah, right? I really want to make the most of these last couple of weeks of my maternity leave. Please, can we do some really special, out of the ordinary fun activities? I said to her, yeah, sure. What do you want to do? And one of the things that she really wanted to do was go to this new day spa that opened up near us. And I thought, yeah, we can definitely do that. Like, I'm a day spa girl, like, no problem. But then when I saw the prices, I like, oh my gosh. So I was like going for floats all the time. Like, I was in the mood for floating back then. And so I was always going off to the private sea in Mornington. I was having these floats, and I think they were $75. But this other place at the day spa, if you wanted to float alone in a pool, it was $400 per person, right? I was like, what? I better be floating in champagne for that. Anyway, but my sister really wanted it. And I said to her, of course, because I never want to say no, right? I'm a people pleaser, but I also want her to have everything that her heart desires. I'm her big sister. I want to make sure she's got everything. So I said to her, of course we can. And in my head, I'm just thinking, I'll find a way. I didn't find a way. It just wasn't in the budget at that time because I had a lot of other medical expenses that I was paying for. So yeah, a couple of days went past, and she said to me, how's work going, da 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 da. And then I told her about this course. I said, hey, I'm thinking about doing this course. And she was like, oh, tell me about it. So I told her about it. And then she goes, well, what's stopping you? And I said, well, it's going to be about $700, and it's so much money. And she's like, okay, well, let's just break it down. it's for business, right? And I said, yeah, it's part of if I do it, of course it's going to be part of the business. She said, right, so it's a tax deduction. And I said, oh yeah, it is, you're right, it is a tax deduction. She goes, how much will you sell it for? And I said, the same price I bought it for. And she goes, so you'd only need to sell it one time to break even. And I said, yeah. And she goes, well, do you think you could sell it once? And I said, yes. Pretty sure I could sell it once. And she said, okay, so what do you want to do? And I was like, I'm going to buy that course. So she was driving. We were driving down to Sorrento, and I bought the course while we were in the car driving. And that was on the Friday. Yeah, that was on the Friday afternoon. And then we were out for the day, just enjoying sister time. And I'm there with my nephews, and it's all great. And then Saturday morning, got up bright and early, and I was like, okay, I'm just going to do this. So I sat down, got the email, logged in, and I started looking at the program, and I was really impressed because it had a lot of content. But at the same time, I was thinking, oh my God, this is going to take me forever to go through. But no, I was wrong. It turned out that all the videos were just like 5 minutes long. So that was really great. It was a learning curve. It was a lot of new information that I hadn't seen before, things I hadn't heard of before, software I hadn't heard of before. But I just went through each little video in order for 5 minutes, a little video, and then each video had something to do. It was like a little action step. Well, not all of them did. Some of them were just videos explaining to you about stuff, but usually it was a video of, how to set this up, how to set this up, how to set that up, what to do here, what not to do there, hit pause, go and fix that. And so it was very hands-on. It was very, very practical. And because I dedicated like that weekend, and I'll be honest with you, I did sit down in the study from probably about 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Saturday and Sunday, because it was just so, not infectious, that's not the right word. I was just so absorbed in it because I was making progress. With every 5-minute video, I was making progress. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is so good, and it's happening, and I'm doing it, and it's working. And anyway, Sunday night, it was all set up, ready to go. So I'd learned how to do digital marketing, and now from the course, and now I could actually sell the same course that I just finished, right? So I had my sales page, I had my emails, I had all this stuff that I'd never done before. And then all I had to do was let people know that it was available. And so that's what I did. And I think, I'll have to go back and check, but I'm pretty sure all I did was I sent an email out, and I think I posted on Facebook that it was available or something. And I got my first sale on Tuesday. And I rang my sister straight away, and I said, guess what? I got the $700. Guess where we're going? And then we were actually at the day spa when the second sale came in for $700. So, well, it was look, don't quote me on it. I think it was $1,550 all up that week that I made with that program. So I sold it twice, made $1,550 in that week of just extra money that allowed me to look after her, because I didn't have to be doing Zoom, right? And that's how it went. And then what ended up happening from there was she went back to work, and then I thought, okay, well, that's done and dusted, and I just stopped selling it and I stopped doing it. And then anyway, things have changed again at home. And so I'm going to be even less available. And so, yeah, I was just thinking, what am I going to do? And then my sister said, hey, whatever happened to that course? And I was like, oh yeah, I've got that course. So I went back into it and was very surprised to see it's had like this major facelift. So I've just been giving all my courses facelifts and free upgrades for all my members. But I never expected to receive one. And so I went into it, and yeah, it's got now all this extra content, stuff that wasn't in the first one that I got, like It's how to sell on Pinterest, or how to sell on YouTube, or how to sell on TikTok, and those kinds of things. But also a lot more about the business foundations and da 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 da. So anyway, it's really, really good. And so I've been really enjoying working through that. Haven't finished it yet, but I'm really enjoying working through it. And I thought, hey, yeah, I'm going to do this. And I was saying to my girlfriend the other day, her name's Kim, I was like, yeah, I've got this side hustle. And she's like, well, is it really a side hustle? Because I was saying to her how I started this second Instagram account so that I could feel comfortable selling it. And she's like, why do you have two Instagram accounts? I was like, oh, because I just feel like, I don't want to upset anybody if I'm selling a marketing course that teaches people how to market their digital products. And she's like, why would it upset anybody? Everybody knows that you already do that. You've got the makers. You're always promoting your journals, and you've always got your own bundles that you're promoting and stuff like that. Why would anybody know? You don't need a second I was gonna say bank account. You don't need a second Instagram account. I was like, oh yeah, it's not a side hustle, and people are used to me selling digital products. Why am I doing this separately? But anyway, it's done now, and I've got this other account, and I really love it. Like, it's a total vibe. Anyway, if you want to go and check it out, you can. It's called at She Reclaims Her Time, all as one word. And I just kept the branding from the private practice because I'm obsessed with my branding at the moment. I've just been getting so many compliments on it. I just love it to bits. So I kept my branding from my business, and yeah, and I've just been using all the new tools and techniques behind the scenes. So you can't see them on my posts and you can't see them on my reels, but I've learned all this extra stuff that I can do. And so I've been doing that. I learned all of that from the course. So I've been doing that and feeding it in, and it just feels so good. And I'm loving it. So I've had this new account. I think this is week 3 now. And I'm very proud to say I've got 47 followers, which I think is pretty good for 3 weeks, starting from scratch again. And I started it as a faceless account because faceless accounts were trending. I'm talking like 3 weeks ago. They are trending, okay? A faceless account is exactly as it suggests. It's you having an Instagram account that's just your brand. It's not you on camera. It's not your photo. It's just your brand. So yeah, you can have a successful social media presence without showing your face. So I thought I wanted to give that a go. So I did that. And then the other thing was, what else? Oh, I was talking to my money coach the other day, and she's like, yeah, how's that all going? I'm saying to her, well, I enjoy it, but oh no, that's right. What ended up happening was, before that, sorry, I just got to backtrack. Remember how I went to the Mind Body Spirit Festival last year, and I saw that medium called Dave Walsh, and I was telling you how amazing he was because he knew all of this stuff legitimately that there's no way he could have known, right? Anyway, last week I contacted him, or the week before I contacted him. I just looked him up on Facebook. I wasn't sure if I had the right person though, because the Facebook page was pretty outdated, and I don't know. He's obviously not, as obsessed with social media as I am. But there was a WhatsApp button there. And so I just got the number from that, and I sent him a text message and I just said, oh, I'm not sure if this is you, but da 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 da. He said, yes. Oh, look, I'm coming down from Sydney next weekend. Do you want to catch up? I said, yes, amazing. So anyway, he ended up coming over to my place, and he did a reading for me, my sister, and my mum. And one of the things that he shared with me in my reading, so all this really good juicy stuff came out, by the way. Like, if he's got a gift, I'm telling you, this guy's got a gift. So anyway, one of the things he said to me was, if you let yourself just be you, and you just let yourself love it, and you let yourself enjoy it, then this can really take off for you, because it's what I'm seeing and it's what the guides are giving me, that they're saying it'd be about 12 months and, sky's the limit sort of thing. So I was like, okay, so now I know in my mind, I'm just going to keep nurturing selling this course that I'm selling. I'm just going to keep selling it, loving it, everything for 12 months. And that's when I'm going to experience the shift. And that makes a lot of sense, because you don't get, like, this was something that came up on an oracle card the other day, you don't get fruit the day you plant the seed. Okay, I get it. um, so yeah, I know it's going to take time, and that's okay. I'm so excited about it. But then I went and had a bath the next day, and I was journaling. If it got to be really fun for me to sell this course on my second Instagram account, like, what would I be doing? And straight away, things that were coming out while I was journaling were things like, well, you'd be on camera and you'd be talking about it, and you'd be being real about it, and you'd just be letting other people know about it, and you wouldn't be so vague about it, and you wouldn't be so general about it. Because the thing was, like, obviously, you need to have a niche, right? I know all about niches because I teach it to you. So I know the importance of a niche, but I hadn't extrapolated that to something like selling this course. So it was so helpful. So then my higher self was like, yeah, we need a niche. And so I thought, okay, well, it can be other people like me, maybe. Like, maybe it's going to be other people, like other therapists who are like me, who maybe have been curious or wondering about whether or not they're feeling burned out, but they're definitely looking at the bookings, not the clients, but they're looking at the bookings, and they're going, oh no, and they're feeling the dread, and they don't, they're feeling trapped and stuck and dictated to by the diary instead of having that freedom. And I thought, yeah, maybe they're the ones I'm going to sell to. So then I saw my money coach day before yesterday and told her all about this, what I'm telling you. And she said, that's great. So now you can definitely go and start speaking about that on your Instagram, which is at the Private Practice Coach. You can start talking about that, because you're going to be selling it to them, to those people who get it as well. And the other thing is that, yes, this works for if you're just tired of looking at your bookings and you want a break, but I reckon it could also work for people who are struggling to build their diaries and they don't yet have enough one-to-one clients. I think this pathway, this option, could work for them, because it'll give them sort of a financial cushion. So there's that angle as well. Anyway, I'm still teasing that out, but I think it could work. And then she said to me, Brooklyn, is it only therapists that will benefit from this? And I was like, no. And she said, well, tell me how you were feeling. So I told her everything that I just told you. And then she said, so it's really about the bookings, isn't it? And you love working with women. I was like, yeah. And so now she's like, okay, well, let's use that second account to sell to women who are in service-based businesses, who are like where you were, maybe they're hairdressers or maybe they're beauticians, like, just for example, but another woman who's working, who's got a diary that takes bookings, basically. She could be in any occupation, but she's at the point now where maybe her circumstances have changed too, and she needs to free up her time, and she's just not sure what else to do. So when I think about it like that, definitely keeping the second account. So anyway, this is what's happening. So it's been a couple of weeks, and I have to tell you, like, I'm just loving it. And I did my very first reel on there with my face yesterday. I did another one today. But just even as I'm talking to you, I think maybe I need to do one tomorrow that explains why I went from a faceless account to an account where I am showing my face. But anyway, this is what I wanted to share with you, because I know I often talk about starting a practice and finding your clients and marketing your business and things like that. I don't talk as much about scaling and recruitment and things, though we do have plenty of episodes on that, and it is something that I'm working with, the few coaching clients I'm working with, were actually working on scaling their businesses. But I thought nobody's really talking about what happens after all of that. Like when you just get to that point where clients in the diary, or the booking, sorry, in the diary just is like the biggest weight, and you just wish somebody would take it off your plate for you. But at the same time, you're feeling trapped because you know if you don't have that booking, you don't have that income, which means what? You can't pay your rent, or maybe you can't pay your mortgage, or you don't buy food that week, or the gas bill, goes late or something. So I thought this was really important to share because I guess maybe it's happening to me, because, well, it's nearly 30 years in private practice of fully booked diaries, but also because of changes in life. But I wanted you to know that if you ever feel like, well, you're in one of those two camps, either you're feeling stuck and trapped and heavy and resentful of the diary, or you're struggling to get clients and you need a way to bring some money in while you're building up the practice, this course could work for you. I mean, it's working for me, and it could absolutely work for you. And I would only share it if it was working. I'm not going to share anything with you that's not working. So yeah, if this is something that you're interested in learning more about, you can see it on my profile. It's at She Reclaims Her Time. Now, be nice because it's a brand new account. As I said, there's 47 lovely followers there, but I think there's only, hang on, I'm just going to bring it up for you now so I can see, because I want to be truthful. I just want to count the number of posts that I've got because it's so new. Oh, hang on, here we go. I've got 37 posts. How's that? 37 posts. And as I said, it is such a vibe. I'm so obsessed with my, I've said obsessed a few times today, haven't I? I'm so obsessed with my feed. It's just so pretty and fresh to look at. I love it so much. And there's a little video there of the day spa again. So we've been back. We've been able to go back because I've got all this extra money coming in now. So, it's just given me space, and it's allowed me to sort of breathe a sigh of relief. And yeah, so my little bio on this account now says, because I was just telling you, it had gone from general, I think it went from something like, because I was using keywords in my bio, so I think it went from something like make money online passively selling digital products, which is so vague and so general. And if I was doing my own Instagram audit, I would have kicked my own butt for that. But now it speaks to my niche, and my niche is, I'm just going to read it out because I'm so proud of this: helping burned out service-based women who are sick to death of the one-to-one hustle to stop exchanging time for money and reclaim their freedom. Doesn't that feel so good? Oh, I love it so much. I'm just going to have a quick helping burned out service-based women who are sick to death of the one-to-one hustle. Yeah, that's what it is. To stop exchanging time for money and reclaim their freedom. That's exactly what I'm doing with this. So if you did this, some people say to me, well, is it like, what would my niche be? Your niche could be anything you want. Anything that you want. And in fact, when you do the course, it teaches you like how to niche and everything. Plus, there's a community in there that's really, really active, and you can pop in and you can ask some questions and stuff. If you did the course, if you did end up buying it, I don't have a Facebook group for it because it comes with its own community. So there's no need. And I'm in that community. So if you need anything, you can always tag me in that community. But yeah, it was just so easy. And so you might be thinking to yourself, well, this all sounds great, but how much is it? Well, I already said earlier on that it's $497 US, which is about 700 Australian dollars. I sell it with a payment plan though. So it's about I think it's $100 because using Klarna and Afterpay and all that, it's like paying for. So I think it worked out to be about, I don't know, whatever 700 roughly is divided by 4. So I think, what's that, about $150 a month? Pretty affordable. It's one session fee. And you can start selling it. Like, how cool is that? I know. And business deduction. And you don't have to sell it if you don't want to. The course teaches you things that I don't in my marketing. Well, there's overlap, but it goes beyond, like it fans out. So it includes things like, I don't know, setting up your sales pages. It includes things like how to find the right products to sell. If you want to sell them through your private practice, it will show you how to find the right ones that will sell and make money for you in your business, right? As opposed to just grabbing something and hoping for the best. So it goes through all of that. And yeah, I'm in love with it. And I'm so excited that I found something that lets me take my foot off the accelerator with my diary. Now I can see a lot less people, but not have the worry about the money. And yeah, I just wanted to share it with you because this may make sense to some of you who are in the position now where you're wanting to cut back and you don't want to take on subcontractors or employ anyone, but you still need to replace the lost income from your one-to-ones. And it's all passive. Once you set it up, in this course, they show you how to set everything up so it's entirely passive. So once it's all set up, then it's passive, right? It's not passive from the get-go because obviously they're not going to make your sales page for you and things like that. You've got to do that. But once it's all set up, everything just happens automatically. And honestly, you can wake up to like a little Stripe notification that somebody bought your course for $700 or $770, whatever the conversion rate is at the moment. I'm just on the currency converter on the webpage now on Google. It's saying 770. You could wake up to 770 like how many times a week? That would be awesome. And it all just happens, just without you really doing anything. Well, the only thing actually that you need to do is market it, which they show you how to do. That's when I say that, I mean, that's what I'm doing with my Instagram page there. So you can go and have a look at how I'm marketing it on my Instagram page if you want. But that's not how you will be marketing it necessarily because you're going to have a different audience to me. Okay, and they will teach you in the course about how to find the right audience for you. Or if you want me to help you brainstorm some audiences or some niches that would work for you, I can help you with that. But you're more than welcome to go and have a sticky beak and check it all out. And you're more than welcome to go and download. There's a free guide in there. You can grab that if you want as well. It's totally up to you. So yeah, it will work for you if you're in that position. But I think it's also a really great idea for people who are having trouble either getting clients and they need money, or having trouble with consistency in their income and they're needing to have something there in the background just chugging away without them needing to give up any more time. It's just kind of chugging away and it's bringing in some extra dollars. So yeah, that's what I wanted to share with you today. So thank you so much for listening. I hope you're feeling like there are options now because there totally are. I've gone out and found them for you. I had to try and test a few different ones before I found the one that was going to work for us, but I've found it. If you have any questions, of course, send me a message. If this is something that you're interested in exploring further and you've got questions about how did I get started or what's the course that I did or what's the one I'm selling or, how do you sell it or anything like that, of course, just message me. You can message me on Instagram or Facebook or you can send me an email. I'm happy to help you. And if you want it, of course, let me know and I'll send you the link. Totally up to you. but it's important that you know that there are options here and that your business doesn't only have to rely on you having one-to-one clients. That's the biggest takeaway. The business, repeat after me, the business doesn't have to only rely on one-to-one client sessions. Okay, it doesn't. You've got options. I really recommend, as I have before I even started talking about this, that you have multiple streams of revenue coming into the business to protect you and to help you continue to thrive. I mean, if anything ever happened to you, like this was something I was talking to my mum about. My father, and he won't mind me mentioning this, so don't worry. But my father, he's had like quadruple bypass and he's got all these stents put in and he's always in and out of hospital for heart problems. Well, I'm 49 now and I'm thinking, the other day I had a flutter in my heart and I was thinking to myself, oh my gosh, I hope I'm not going to have any heart problems. But what if I did? Would I still be able to do my one-to-one sessions? I don't know. Hopefully I can. But if I couldn't do my one-to-one sessions, I know that money is still coming into the bank account because I've gone and set up all of this other stuff and it doesn't require any input from me at all. So the money's still there, right? I'm going away on the weekend. I know I'm going to make sales while I'm gone. I'm going to Daylesford. It's going to be great. I need the break, let me tell you. But I know money's going to be coming in even though I'm not actually seeing clients on Zoom, right? So this is what I want you to know. The profitability of the practice or the revenue of the practice doesn't only have to come from you seeing one-to-one clients. Stop pushing yourself to fill your diary. This is 2024. It's not 1994, right? 1994, we didn't have mobile phones, I don't think. I think maybe they were just getting introduced or whatever. I was probably still using Netscape Navigator and Yahoo. I don't think Google existed. I don't know. But it's not 1994 where back then you did have to fill your diary with one-to-one clients to make money. Now it's 2024 and everything's changed. You've got options. It's easier than ever to create consistent revenue for your private practice. And this is just one of the options that's available to you. Okay, so I hope this was really, really helpful. It's now 3:35. I'm going to go and wake Buddy up, or no, maybe I'll just let him wake up naturally. I might just go and have a bit of a wander. It looks really, really nice outside. It's a lovely sunny day. It's so nice. I want to feel the sun on my face now. And I've got the time to do it. I can just go and sit out there for as long as I want. It's going to be great. All right. Well, you have a really, really wonderful day. If you have any questions about creating additional revenue streams for your private practice, let me know. Always happy to help you. If you're interested in the course, let me know. Happy to answer any questions you might have about that and get you some information if you wanted to. Have a wonderful day. Bye. I hope that you loved this episode as much as I loved putting it together for you. To get more resources to help you in your private practice, head over to Instagram. My handle is @theprivatepracticecoach. And also, if you want more inquiries and referrals for your business, let me know. I have a program called Clients on Demand that opens every quarter, and I can absolutely get you some information for that as well. You are doing an amazing job. Thank you for sharing your gifts with the world. Bye.